Hello world, I come to you proudly to present a small training video on how to play Kings of Chaos, a text-based game that I've fallen in love with since 2005. So, this is Kings of Chaos. I'll go ahead and I'll log out. The link there, kingsofchaos.com, very easy to access, and this is how you play. You're going to join a certain race. Each race has its own specific benefits for joining it. As you can see down there, different play styles are available. So I'll log in, and I am an orc. Orcs receive bonuses to their attack and defense, so that's what I've chosen. The way that this game works, the ultimate goal is essentially to be rank number 1. This person has the highest stats. He's almost untouchable. That's essentially the ultimate goal. Don't count on doing that, though. The people who are number 1 have been playing this longer than I have. Just the best thing to do is just to get the highest rank you possibly can. The way you do that, in your command center, you can kind of see everything that's going on with you. You can see recent attacks on you. You can see your military overview, your fortifications, and things like that. But this is the gravy right here, your military effectiveness. This shows your attacking strength, your defensive strength, your ability to spy, and your ability to prevent people from spying you, your sentry. These rankings haven't updated yet. I'm actually going to be fairly higher in a little bit. The way to make those go higher is to outfit your troops with weapons of varying power. So, for example, I have 15 black powder missiles. Holding those 15 black powder missiles are my trained attack soldiers. I have 50 of them, so I can actually buy 35 more black powder missiles to have everybody holding a weapon, yada yada yada. Not a big deal. Those 15 black powder missiles, in addition to my 50 attack soldiers, multiplied by my current fortification of of siege technology of attack, which is siege towers, multiplies whatever I get from my black powder missiles by 8.16. Each black powder missile is 1,000 power, plus the power of my actual attack soldiers times 8.16. What that does is that figures out to be my strike action. My strike action is tested against my opponent's defensive action when I attack. For example, let's see player U71. He has an army of 16,608 orcs. Now I'll point something out here. I only have an army of 100 because my spies and sentries do not count towards my total fighting force. Now, how can an army of 100 possibly compete against an army of 16,608? Well, in this case, this guy has a relatively low fortification. A walled town is a very early fortification. That says to me that this guy is not focusing on his defensive action very much. He's probably focusing on his spy or his sentry or maybe his strike action. What that says is, despite the fact that he has a massive army, I will attack and watch what happens. It gives a brief story. You defeated the enemy and stole 5,136,766 gold. I need to hurry because now my gold is on the market to be taken. I'm going to repair my weapons really quick. I already have my thing filling in defensive weaponry with my money. So see, it's filled in 6 invisibility shields there. So I'm going to buy those weapons. And my defensive action has gone up significantly from that encounter. Attacking people uses your turns. I have a lot of turns. Attacking takes about 100 turns. Consider that your fuel. You regenerate it as time goes on. That just keeps you from sitting there on your computer for 24 hours and wailing and getting ungodly powerful. You can only do so much with your day. Now, that's how you get your basic stuff up. That's essentially the bread and butter to Kings of Chaos. There are some advanced techniques, such as if I go here and say I had a beef with this guy. Oh, hold on, I'm going to take his money because he has a camp. That's the lowest fortification available. And he has 11 million gold, which I just took. as you can see right there. I just took his 11 million gold. I better spend the living crap out of that and fast. And bam, look at that. That just threw my defensive power way up there. Anyway, I'm sorry. So let's say I have a beef with this guy here. Okay, I'm going to go to his full profile. I also have the option to sabotage, which is this little button right here. I don't think you can see my mouse because I have that option disabled on Fraps. But this option towards the bottom here, sabotage. If I decide to do that, and by the way, this is something that is offensive to players. Sabotaging them for no reason will get you in trouble from their friends. So I'm not actually going to do it. But I can actually choose a weapon or something that I assume he has, and I can send my people in. My spy rating is what counts here. My spy rating. Send people in to break these weapons so that they are no longer usable and it damages his economy. For example, somebody can sabotage my invisibility shields if I make them mad, which is why I don't want to make that guy mad. Now, another thing you can do, why would you rush in and blindly attack if you don't know what his army is? Recon now is an option for that. I reconned him and look what I find. He has a small defensive action, but his strike action is through the roof. What this tells me is that I can take that money from him, but he will come and take it back with no problem whatsoever. It also tells me that he's producing 160 units per turn. These are some of the weapons that he has, so I now know that I can go after his... He has black powder missiles. It didn't tell me how many. If I spy again, I can find out. Anyway, that's a brief touch on some of the special operations in there. Personnel, 100 soldiers. We went over this a little earlier. I have 100 soldiers. You generate soldiers every turn, just like you generate gold, based upon your conscription rate, which is right here. You can upgrade that with money. I don't have enough money to upgrade mine right now, but I'm getting 160 soldiers per day, and that is an actual day. So every day, my army is going to go up by 160. And initially, they're going to go into the untrained soldiers category, and I need to come in here and spend money training them in one of the respective disciplines. So that's how troops work. Here's the thing. If I go to the battlefield, and I go to one of the last pages worth of players here, to the real weaklings, notice their armies are very small, much like mine. Some of them are very small, because these are new players. If I attack this guy... For one thing, I wouldn't, because he's got almost no money. Because his army is smaller than mine, if I attack him, I am going to get a very small portion of his money. When you pick on people with smaller armies than you, you get crap. There is a huge advantage to having a small army, and that is why I have 100 people. The way you keep your army down, but also have lots of troops, is to train them as spies and sentries. It gets them out of your effective fighting force, but you get more money every turn from the more troops that you have, whether they're fighting force or not. So it's good to have lots of people, but it's bad to have lots of people out on the battlefield. There's a second reason as well. This is my attack log screen. It shows those attacks I've just placed. Here's a column that's important to look at. Enemy losses, my losses. When I attacked Zubrugzuga, one day... Oh, these are attacks on me, actually. Here, attacks by me, excuse me. When I attacked DTB, he lost 27 units from the attack. Because remember, his army was massive. He has 349,000 troops. So he lost a chunk of troops. I lost none. Because my army is small. So that's another advantage to having a small army. You won't lose troops. When you've got a big army like this guy right here, player U71, you lose chunks of troops, and that can be devastating. People will actually get pretty upset at you if you attack for no reason, so on and so forth. Last but not least, the final thing I'll teach you about, a huge thing in Kings of Chaos is the alliances. You join up with an alliance, you get to join their forums, they offer you helpful things to guide you through the game, such as clickers and things like that. You can learn about that later. Little things to make the game easier. More to the point, if I go and I screw with Tankman07, he is part of the Sweet Revenge Alliance. He can theoretically go to his commander, Discovery SR, and complain if I did something offensive, or even to his Supreme Commander, Thomas. Isn't that ironic? That's my name. And effectively, if I did anything worth, retaliating on me for, he could have... Oh, log me out. Hang on. He could have the entirety of 604 members of Sweet Revenge come down on me like a ton of bricks. That would be very unfortunate for me. So, there are politics to this game. I choose not to have a commander, not to join an alliance. I made my own alliance, kind of to lone wolf it. But what I want is I want you to come to Kings of Chaos. By clicking this link I just posted to the forums. And when you do so, let me show you what it'll look like by logging out. It will ask you to join Speerit 89 under whatever race you want. Join dwarves. And no, I'm not going to do any of that. But when you sign up, you'll sign up as my officer. And essentially what that does, it provides me and you both with benefits, but it also makes sure that I can protect you. Essentially, it creates kind of a hierarchy of friendship. My greatest aspiration here is that I can get everybody in this group to play this very simple game that you can spend 15 minutes a day kind of grinding at, and then you leave it alone for a couple days, come back and your turns will have recharged, and you go out and you rape some gold again, raise your fighting strength, and see how high you can get yourself on this ranking chart. It's really quite exciting after a while. And perhaps you want to join the game and join one of these gigantic alliances and become part of this huge war machine. That's not my thing, to be honest with you. I've been doing this since 2005, and that's just not how I like to play it. But please come and click this link that I just posted. I'll post this video right above it, and come play Kings of Chaos with me. It's a blast, It doesn't take a lot of time. Very simple text-based, no images. Anybody's computer can run it. Come join me. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good time. See you.